Three, two, one. Nope. Welcome back to the Brandon K Show. This is a real show. I'm here today with Nick.
Yo, 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 yo. Happy Sunday, peeps. Hope all is well.
Nick and I went and watched the new Dune 2 movie separately, but we both saw it. And this is like the Dune 2 recommendation. Do we recommend people to go see Dune 2?
Absolutely. 100% I do.
And this is a non-spoiler here to start, but towards the middle of the show we're gonna spoil the whole plot of the movie. And for now, we'll just say this is the Dune show. I got my Dune background.
I failed to mimic the Dune background, but hey, got my cabin in Aspen. No, I'm just kidding.
So
This game stock.
it's so good. I love it. So the thing about Dune is I was never too into it, never too interested, but I love sci-fi. And I heard Dune 2 was good, so I went and watched it. How about yourself? I did not see Dune 1. You saw Dune 1.
I saw Dune 1. So I think it came out in like 2021 or something,
Yeah.
or during COVID era. And I remember I watched it kind of half-assed, but it was good. I remember it was good. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
Wasn't as good as Dune 2 is way better though.
Dune 2 picked up the pace. I enjoyed it. It was even Dune 2 took a minute to get invested in, and it all just starts on a desert like this. It's all about the desert and what is it called? The spice. That's kind of the main plot. That's kind of the main plot of both is something about the desert. I wanted to pull up
Arakan is the desert.
Yeah, and then it's all about the spice trade. Do you remember the plot of Dune 1?
A little bit. I mean, yeah, it's basically, well, I thought the Emperor at first was the fat guy who floats, the bald guy, but that's actually not the Emperor. There's someone above him who's Christopher Walken.
Is that like a reveal in Dune 1? Or I don't know.
They kind of make it, in Dune 1, they make it seem like he's the Emperor kind of thing. Or that's what I thought, because.
Well, it's kind of like Star Wars. You think Darth Vader's in charge, and then you find out it's really the Emperor. But in Dune 2, yeah, Christopher Walken was there and pretty early on, and I think we knew he was the Emperor already. But yeah, Dune, Christopher Walken, and I don't know the character names, so I'm just gonna call him by the actor names.
Yeah, so Dune 1 is basically, they just kind of talk about what it's like on Arakian. They discuss the spice trade and like how that's the most, well, it's interesting because it's a hallucinogenic. It's like a spiritual hallucinogenic tool, but then it's also the most utilized resource for work and like oil. Well, basically like an oil, but then they also describe how it's a hallucinogenic, which I thought that was quite interesting.
That is cool.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting or kind of random, but
it kind of does it all.
Yeah, it kind of does it all. And I think they're gonna. What I like about it is it's a very slow introduction. So, like, I didn't read the books, but I don't know, and I don't know how many there are. But I assume each movie is taking a tiny. Because if you can see, if you go back and think about what happens in Dune 1 and Dune 2. There's not that much that really happens, but it's very long, and you're very so I'm thinking, I don't know how long it's gonna be, but
yeah, this is neither one of us is the experts on this, so I mean, I got it pulled up in front of me. It sounds like, yeah, it's a long epic book, and yeah, Nick has the idea that they're gonna make like 5 of these movies.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be definitely a lot of them.
We can say Dune 3 has been announced, which is very cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, so it's still people. I think it was a big hit. Dune 2 was a big hit. And go on, say what you were gonna say.
Oh no, I was just gonna say that it's gonna be. I think it's gonna be a trilogy that's gonna kind of be the new either Lord of the Rings or maybe the new Star Wars or the new Harry Potter. We haven't had anything like that, if you think about it, in quite a bit.
It's full of major actors. I noticed. A lot of them are from the Marvel universe. You got Drax from the Guardians of the Galaxy. You got Zendaya from Spider Man. You got Thanos, Josh Brolin. You got even the Emperor guy who doesn't walk. He was a character in the Marvel universe. He was the scientist. So that's what I'm when I see it. I'm like, oh, all these are all people from Marvel.
They definitely are spending some money, it seems like, on the acting squad, and yeah, that's a good catch on that. And now I'm jogging my memory a little bit on Dune 1 too. So basically, the good guy, so the young character, I forget the main character. Honestly, I just follow. I don't really remember names in movies, but the main kid who obviously grows in to take over his
Timothy
father's chair.
Timothy Charlemagne.
Yeah, so I know at the beginning of the first one, his father dies. So
Mm,
essentially, at the beginning, it's basically what happens is now I remember his father's like, "All right, we're going to Arakan. We need to start mining for this spice and pull this out." And basically, the emperor or the guy below the emperor access grants them. He's like, "Okay, yeah, you can go to Arakan and mine some of that spice." But in his head, he's like, "Good luck." There's worms. It's like the harshest condition ever. They've got the native people who Zendaya
giant
is,
tremors, like the if you remember that movie Tremors, they have big sandworms coming out of the sand.
which are badass. Yeah, and that movie Tremors was a trip. I need to watch that again. And essentially, yeah, that's kind of the plot is they're landing on that planet to kind of settle in and see how they can utilize the spice resource. But then the other planet, the other house, it's like Game of Thrones. They have houses, and I
Yeah.
don't know how many, but then the other one lands, I think, and then they battle and they start fighting over the resources and shit like that.
So the
And
houses is
then
the desert house, and then the house with like the evil kid and the emperor and stuff. Those are two different houses.
two different house. Yeah. So there's yep. The main house is the kid whose father died. There's the emperor and that side. It's weird, and then you have the witches, like the oracle ladies, who kind of assist both sides. So I
Mm.
don't know what's going on with them. I
Are
think
there
the lady who has like the witch, she's the one you got to watch out for. I'm thinking she's got something's gonna happen. I don't think she's gonna be good in the end, but we'll see.
well, yeah, there's so much to it, and I think that's why it's hard to grasp all the intricacies. But but I was, it's kind of like the first half you're in the debt. Okay, well, that we're getting too much into Dune 2 now, but so yeah, Dune 2 had a budget of 190 million and is made 660 million, and
Mm.
they might crawl up towards a billion if the movie's still in theaters. And yeah, so I'm a big fan of sci-fi. I got into Dune 2. Dune 1 I'd have to go back and watch, but sounds like you enjoyed it.
Yeah, I did, and yeah, it was good. And I watched it a while ago. I kind of was not fully focused when I watched it, but I remember it was good. And then when the second one came out, I wanted to rewatch the first one.
I've And you did or haven't done it yet?
Yeah, I've watched the first part of it or the first half, and I need to finish it.
Now that I have a reason to be interested, I will go back and watch Dune 1 someday.
Yeah, check it out.
But other than that, oh yeah, so are you a big sci-fi guy, Nick?
Yeah. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm obsessive, but I definitely like sci-fi, some sci-fi stories for sure,
Oh,
for
uh,
sure. I'm a Lord of the like. I'm a geek on Lord of the Rings. Is probably if there's anything comparable to like a long trilogy that I'm the most knowledgeable about, it'd be Lord. But
Lord of
this Dune is gonna be. You could. I'm definitely excited for the third one.
Oh, hold on. I was trying to. Oh, here we go. There we go. There's my joke. You're not obsessive. You're not obsessive about.
Sci-fi. Where's the joke?
Oh,
I
just that
missed
I
it.
have all my Star Wars stuff in the
Oh
back.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, but no, but the point is that so I'm doing an entertainment roundup here on the show. It's going to be a whole week of me talking entertainment. And what entertainment? Yeah, maybe you and I would talk about Lord of the Rings.
Oh, whatever, man. I'm down to talk about whatever we would like. Um,
Do
I'm
you keep
told.
up to date on like popular culture stuff like that?
Yeah, pop culture. I mean, just in general, Hollywood, you mean, or like in a particular genre, I guess.
Yeah, like it's kind of entertainment in general.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yeah. When I was a young buck, my mom is pretty into it, pop culture, magazines growing up, the actors, actresses, the Grammys, Academy Awards. She was always glued to all those game shows every night or whenever they would come around. And yeah, I think I followed it closer when I was a kid, actors and musicians and stuff. But I watch TMZ and I'll still yeah follow Hollywood. I love music, love movies, I
We're gonna
like
do it.
video games.
We're gonna do a TMZ version, TMZ Brandon K show with Nick next week.
I do like TMZ. And actually, a few years ago, you would catch me watching it a lot.
We're
I don't
gonna.
watch as much TV as in general anymore. I'm trying to read some more, but TMZ, I've watched a lot of episodes of
I'm
TMZ.
looking for someone to help me gossip about all these celebrities' personal lives.
I'm down. Shit, dude, I'm definitely down. That sounds pretty cool. Actually, sign me up.
Um, but yeah,
Sign me up.
that'll be next week. I'm trying different things on this show, but okay. So that's the first section of our show here, and now we're gonna get into the Dune 2 spoilers. So if you have not seen Dune 2, you guys can, you know, go do something else right now because we're gonna talk.
Go
You can go watch Dune 2, and it is
watch.
recommended to go watch Dune 2. Now we're gonna talk about the movie Dune 2. This is the Dune 2 review. Nick and I both saw this movie. I saw it. Hold on, I'm gonna cut this up later too. Okay, so
Totally good, man.
this is the Dune 2 review with myself and Mr. Nick here on the Brandon K show. This is a real show, and we both went and saw Dune 2. Nick, you'd say you were a fan of Dune 2, right?
Hell yeah. I recommend it was the best movie that's hit theaters in a while, for sure.
Hell yeah. And I didn't know how I was going to like it. I did not see Dune 1, but I got into the theater, and the first scene, you're just like in the sand, and you're with Timothy Charlemagne, Zendaya, and you're learning about spice, and they have trouble breathing on the planet. They have like special devices to breathe, and they're having an argument with somebody. They're like fighting, and that's as much as I remember. And then you get into the sandworms, and
Yeah.
the first act of the movie I had trouble getting into. I was like, okay, is this all this movie is? But like, at what point did you get start to be interested in that? Because obviously I was in a big screen and it's very beautiful to watch, but kind of in my mind I'm like nothing's really happening yet.
Yeah, no, I get that. And it's slow. I think it's a little slow initially and you got to kind of hold on and then kind of see how it progresses after that. But I know so basically, yeah, House Atreides was that the name? That was the one who went down and they I think at the first scene of Dune 2 is he just imagining that or are they actually in the sand right then and there? Or was he? Or am I thinking of the end of Dune 1? I can't remember. With
I
Zendaya,
I
so
feel like
he meets Zendaya at the very end of Dune 1, I
right,
believe, right? And then they're together. So he's already pretty much integrated with the Iraqan people, right, at the beginning of Dune 2, if I recall
right.
correctly. Like
That's it. That's it. That's what I'm watching, and you're kind
yeah,
of how he reacts there, and then somebody may or may not be telling him they trust him or don't trust him or
that's
what,
right. And
and
he's
then
going through the trials and tribulations. She's like testing him and training him, which I kind of liked. Like, can you actually become one of us and
and if
adapt with the desert? And he does well.
and Dune tells me, or sorry, Nick tells me that him and Zendaya met up at the end of Dune 1, and now it's kind of revealed that they are together. They are a couple.
Yeah, and I think it's slowly. So basically, if I recall, because they're kind of I mixed them two together now almost
Yeah,
when I'm trying to think back on it.
yeah,
But I think yeah. So he doesn't even meet Zendaya the whole Dune 1. He's in power with his dad, but he's envisioning her. He's somehow because he's got foresight abilities and he's got some past, present, future type intuition. So
yeah. That's
he's envisioning her before he even ever meets her. And then he meets her at the end of Dune 1, I believe.
yeah,
For like, she only pops up the last 5 or 10 minutes. And then yeah, they start off together. His dad's dead. That whole house is pretty much collapsed. The main actor who has the goatee, his dad's right. I forget his name. He's nowhere to be found, and then he comes later on. But yeah,
That's
so he's
Brolin, right?
getting.
Thanos, Josh Brolin.
Is that yeah, that is who plays Thanos. Duh, yeah, that's right. And he's got that
That's
same
how
kind
I
of
know them
goatee.
because I don't know their character names, so I just go off their Marvel names.
I never remember. That's one thing I don't really remember the names of
You
characters'
got
names and
Timothy
all
Chalamet
that's
is
going
the
on.
main character. Zendaya is kind of the love interest, and then later will become an antagonist. But and then you got Josh Brolin. Josh Brolin really in this movie didn't show up till the middle of it, but he
Yeah,
he was a
but
returning character. So at the beginning of this movie, he was just telling they're talking about how to be the redemption of how to
the
make
house.
things better for them and stuff, and then he's telling her he's always going to love her and he'll never leave her. And that's kind of the first act, and then there was a whole middle part where they were attacked by sandworms or riding sandworms or something. I actually fell asleep during that part of the movie.
It was like a test. It was a test if he could the final test for
Hmm.
him to become one of the Iraq in order to see if he was like truly godlike, which he did end up passing all of those tests. And I guess those Iraqi people. Okay, I have more background. So they've been waiting for a god to land there, right? And the people of Iraqin for like thousands of years to
Yes,
release them and bring them to the Holy Land.
yes.
So they're actually convinced that this young man it
Come
could
on.
potentially be,
Yeah.
and he's passing all these tests. Um,
Charlemagne, the
eh,
main
eh,
character, they're starting to think he could be the chosen one, but he's rejecting it towards the beginning, and he's telling Zendaya, "No, I'm only going to be with you. Um, if I something about if I even if I did become the holy leader, I'm afraid what they would do to the other side or something along those lines."
and in the greed and power, it's going to be an interesting. It'll be curious to see where it goes. Yeah, because he starts off in the humble beginnings of Iraq, and he says he's for the people. He wants to live off the desert. He doesn't want power. It sounds like at the beginning of Dune 2. Then Thanos comes in. Hey, bro, your dad's got all these nukes that are stored in this secret container. We actually have we're pretty much the most powerful house still. You need to go avenge your dad. You need to go to the emperor and those guys and basically go take over. And he's a little birdie in his ear. And then I personally thought that put greed. And basically, he's going from originally he wanted to stay humble and localized to the desert and just fall in love with Zendaya and chill there, ride the worms. And then now he's going. I think there's something a little birdie and maybe something that's going to drive towards greed, but maybe it's all a part of his
We're
plan.
gonna have a little disagreement here because I think he's just fulfilling his destiny.
See, there we go. There we
Yeah.
go. I think it's paradoxical, and I think he could be fulfilling his destiny, and I think it may be a part of a plan in the end, and he does have all this power, and then he's somehow humble with it. But I don't know. I'm seeing a little, and Zendaya doesn't like it either, and
Well,
I have
the brief version to people who watch the movie or never watched the movie and are watching this, which is that by the end they kind of prophesize that Timothy Chalamet will become the Messiah, which is the title of
Messiah.
the Dune 3, it's Messiah, and they prophesize that no one else has drank the liquid, no male has ever drank the liquid and become the seer or whatever. So the witches, they never,
Worm liquid.
yeah, they. So then but he gets a vision that once he takes the worm liquid, the worm liquid, he will become the Messiah. And then over the course of the movie, he takes the potion, and then he can actually pretty much knows everything and can tell people who they are and their lives, and he basically knows everything by the end of the movie. Did you catch that?
Yeah, yeah, that makes sense, and thanks for mentioning that actually, because he does have some type of supernatural power that others, that should call him to lead too.
He
I
can
just
prove he can pretty much like prove that he had a change, a psychic change, and but at the same time, now he's going to lead the entire army up against the other side, which is the whole shift in the movie. Once you're out of the desert, is you go to this other planet where Christopher Walken and Drax,
Mm.
I mean, and a guy who looks like Andrew Tate,
Oh yeah, okay. That I was like, this dude's fucking Andrew Tate.
the
Sorry, I didn't mean to swear.
bald kid,
That was
um,
hilarious.
and they're all like they're all they all then it all gets into they're all related. Like um, they find out what was it? They found out Timothy Chalamet and his mother were secretly when he drinks the potion. He found out he was secretly like the son of those people.
Oh yeah, thank you. You just unlocked a memory. Yeah, he was the son of the Baron. Sorry, the guy below the Emperor is the Baron or whatever.
The Baron, yeah, the Baron
Yeah,
is the scary looking guy.
yeah. He's a voodoo
Actually,
king.
I think that they're the are they the they might be the kids of the highest Christopher Rankin guy,
Uh,
Christopher Walken guy, I think, because he's the one who
uh.
took them down behind the scenes.
Oh, I guess yeah, you're right, huh? It is Christopher Walken, I think.
And then they had a final showdown at the end where I think he killed him, killed somebody,
Hmm.
or killed by the end. I think the scary looking guy in who walks around, um,
Who levitates?
yeah, the levitating guy. I think they killed him and Christopher Walken by the end of the movie, didn't they?
That did they both die?
Let's see,
Hmm.
but
Let's see.
anyways, um, at the end, Zendaya, she believes that Timothy Chalamet has like gone to the dark side or something, and she gets all pissed off and stops supporting him.
Yeah, and I don't know. It's a contradictory type plot because, like you said, he has a calling and he has these powers, but also. Did they even need to, well, yeah, and if they didn't stand up to the emperor and the baron, then something bad would happen. So,
So
but
here's the
also,
problem. Oh,
but the
sorry.
desert, yeah, I don't know.
It's good that we're breaking this down because if I read this right now, even we wouldn't know what the hell it's talking about. This is the plot summary. The Southern Freemen leaders urge Paul to challenge Stilgar to a death duel for leadership. He refuses and galvanizes the fundamentalists by showing that he can read their innermost thoughts. Okay, that's so
Uh,
Paul
that's when he was fighting the Arakan leader at the end, wasn't
that,
it?
yeah, this is towards the end. Yeah, I'm just reading the
The
end.
Arakan, I remember that part.
So I think is our main character. Does that sound right?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. All right, so I'm going to read the whole plot here because we got time. Okay, following the destruction of the House of Atreides by the House of Harkonnen, Princess
Harkonnen.
Arulin, the daughter, that might be Zendaya, no? Princess Arulin.
No, no, not Zendaya, but I remember her
Who's
too.
the daughter? Who's Princess Arulin? The daughter of
She's the daughter of the fucking I guess of Walken. It's Walken.
okay, the
Yeah,
daughter of Padishah Emperor Shaddam IV secretly journals that Paul Atreides may still be alive. So they didn't know he was alive.
because I think she's trying to get with him or something, right? Is that what's happening? Is she trying to
On
get with him?
Arrakis, Stilgar's Freeman troops, including Paul and his pregnant mother, Lady Jessica, okay, overcome a Harkonnen patrol. When Jessica and Paul reach Sietch Tabor, some Freemen suspect they are spies, while Stilgar and others see signs of the prophecy that a mother and son from the outer world will bring prosperity to Arrakis. So some at the beginning of that movie when they're all in the desert, some people suspected he's a spy because they don't trust his intentions. But
Mm-hmm.
Stilgar and others, Stilgar might be Thanos, but Stilgar and others see signs of the prophecy that a mother and son from the outer world will bring prosperity to Arrakis. Okay, so he's fulfilling his prophecy. Stilgar tells Jessica that Sietch Tabor's reverent mother is dying and that Jessica must replace her by drinking the water of life, a poison fatal for males and the untrained. Jessica transmutes the poison, surviving and inheriting the memories of every female ancestor in her lineage. The liquid
Well,
prematurely awakens the mind of her unborn daughter, Aaliyah, allowing Jessica to communicate with her. I didn't even realize that was happening. Did you see
interesting.
her talking to her daughter? No, yeah. In her belly? I guess so. She was talking to somebody, so I guess she was talking to her unborn daughter.
Hmm.
They agreed to focus on convincing the more skeptical northern freemen of the prophecy. Chani and her friends Shikaskli believe the prophecy was fabricated to manipulate the freemen. However, she begins
I didn't
how,
know that.
however, she begins to respect Paul after he
Interesting.
declares that he only intends to fight alongside the freemen, not to rule them. Oh,
And the Freemen are the desert people, by the way. I know that.
so there
Like
was another
Zendaya.
level of manipulation there. I don't know. Maybe Channy, is that Zendaya? Let's see. Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
see.
Okay. So Channy is Zendaya. So her and
Okay.
Shiskakli believe the prophecy was fabricated to
Ah,
manipulate.
ah.
So when he says he's gonna come and and save them without taking over their whole society, she
So
believes him.
she's
And
like, screw this shit.
yeah, but I mean, he really does become like omnipotent. So I mean, once you see that, I mean, I don't know.
That's
Seems
interesting
it
because
seems
it's
like
where's it gonna go?
he's like, hey, I just proved that the prophecy's real. Like, what? So why don't you believe me anymore? But
Well, okay, he's not proving that the prophecy is real necessarily. He's proving that he has some type of powers and that he could fulfill their prophecy. But there may not even be a prophecy, and he could still have some powers. You know what I mean? Oh, hello, Quali. I know you want to say hello to everyone. You know what I mean? So it could even be that he just has, yeah, that there is no prophecy. Actually, it almost sounds like it could be made up by the witch. I forget what the witch is and her mother, or yeah, those two characters. But
I see now. I see. So that's she believes deep down that
to control them.
but I mean, even so, yeah. So he's got a little fire in his eye that he could start manipulating their whole society with his powers. And he did, like, in front of her, say he was gonna, like, marry that other girl or whatever. But to me, it seemed like he was trying to do the right thing. But we don't know really if he's gonna be manipulating everybody in the end, I suppose.
It's gonna be interesting to see. My guess is This is my guess. I don't know how many parts there are going to be, but this is unlocking some foresight. He's going to go mad for. He's gonna gain all this power. He's going to be the top dog. He's going to go. He's going to abuse that power. He's going to go kind of mad, and then there's going to be a happy ending at the end. And he's going to come down. He's going to humble thyself. He's going to be with Zendaya. And I guarantee you, like clearly that's how it's going to end.
Well, actually, I mean, another way it could end is he spirals into the dark side, and then
He's
somebody
going to
has
pull himself out.
what?
He'll pull himself out though at
Well, he
the
could
end.
be killed too. Like, it could be that he has to be killed in the end. He could go too power mad.
True. I mean, I could. You're right. It could take a different turn. That would be my guess, and you never know what could happen, though. You
Yeah,
never know.
yeah. It's kind of like the redemption, like Kylo Ren in Star Wars is like, is he gonna be redeemed, or is he just gonna be killed?
True.
And as
It's
you
a
remember,
good way to compare it, actually.
spoiler alert for Rise of Skywalker, I don't know, him and Ray fall in love. Remember that part? So it's
Let
kind
me
of like
see.
redemption, but then he dies too. I forget who kills him. I think it's the Emperor kills him.
That was the second most recent one, or the most recent one
That's the
that
most
was
recent.
in theaters.
That's how it all ends. So like he's battling the dark side, and he has a good side and a bad side, and he's battling it. And then in the
Hmm.
second one, he actually kills his own emperor, which is Snoke. So he kills the person who's in charge, but then he leads off into being the most dangerous person in the galaxy. And then we're hoping he's redeemed, and he has this big force connection with Rey,
Hmm.
and they kiss. I remember they kiss, but I don't know if he was fully redeemed or not before he was killed, because he was killed for some reason.
Interesting.
I feel like he didn't. Obviously, there was some redemption, but yeah, I don't know if he ever left. I think he was redeemed. I think Han Solo came in a Force vision and redeemed him, and then he died. He just died, but he was redeemed before he died, I believe.
Interesting. I mean, if you look at different stories, I'm trying to think. Like, I don't want to get too off topic with Lord of the Rings, but like, yeah, it happens with Frodo. Could be kind of an example. Goes
Fro,
mad. Main
Fro.
character
I mean
goes mad, and then
the
at the very end, he's back, and everyone's like, "Oh, he's back."
and I think the common thread is power.
It's
And
power, dude. It's
if you have the power,
greed.
it's weird in Lord of the Rings because he has the power to go invisible, but at the same time, it's like they get obsessed with the power and
Yeah, and that it's like almost addiction, like drug. It reminds me of like crazy addiction too.
starts controlling your mind. So yeah, it's a analogy for power and how it destroys people.
And
So is
I mean,
the dark side, and so is what's happening to Paul in Dune.
Paul.
But I feel, I guess maybe I'm the naive one because I feel like he's gonna use his power for good. But
I think you're right. I mean, I think he's probably in the end, and I don't know how many movies there will be, but yeah, I think
it's questionable
I think we're gonna see a little bit of both. I think we're gonna see some bad potentially, but maybe it doesn't. Maybe it just goes one way and stays that way. I
because
don't
like
know.
he's trying to do the right thing and be the savior for the what are they called, the Freeman? Yeah,
The Iraqan Freeman people.
yeah. So he's trying. He looks like he's gonna do the right thing, and they all basically are gonna go along with him whatever he says because he fulfilled the prophecy or is working on it, and he had the nukes, and
The nukes.
those nukes came in handy to destroy whoever on the other side was. And there was a big blowout at the end, I believe. We'll get there. I'm gonna read more of this, but at the same time, he kind of broke his promise to Zendaya, and he even was like, "Oh, I'm gonna marry your daughter of the Baron or whatever," and that's when she stormed off.
Yeah, and that part it was confusing because it came out of nowhere. It kind of came out of left field. But then he like looked. He didn't wink or but didn't it like zoom in on him looking or something at the very end?
I will say it's not fully out of left field because he had to marry her to become kind of like the king of their side because he was going to take over their side to some degree. And then and then the guy, I think before he killed him, he said, he said, "Oh, you don't have to marry her, but we'll still give you we'll let you rule," something along
Mm,
without marrying her.
uh, I
And then
see.
once he let that happen, then it was kind of like, okay, I'm not going to marry you anymore. And then he killed the guy. I believe that's kind of how it unfolded.
Good. Yeah, I think actually I remember that now.
But that was kind of why he was going to marry that other girl.
Yeah, power pretty much, and yeah, that makes sense.
Also to try to be the savior for both sides.
Yeah, to unite because he was basically trying to rule all, right? Like be the main guy to kind of rule
Potentially,
all.
because we also found out he was the grandson. So there was a lot going on, and it was kind of complicated. That's why I'm trying to get to the bottom of this. Let's see. I'm going to read more.
It's a complex story. Very.
Paul and Channy fall in love as Paul immerses himself in Freeman culture, learning their language, becoming a Fidakan fighter, riding a sandworm, and taking part in raids against Harkonnen spice operations.
Hmm.
Paul
Hmm.
adopts the Freeman name Usul, the Mod DB, due to the devastating spice raids. Baron Vladimir Harkonnen. Let's see. I'm going to look at the picture of this guy.
Vladimir
This
Harkonnen
is
was the main
this
one.
is what's that?
Vladimir was his name. I forgot.
That was the scary
Baron.
one. The scary guy who
Yeah, the scary one.
he replaces his nephew Glosu Rabban as Arrakis's ruler with his psychotic, murderous younger nephew, Fade Ratha, and that's the one who looked like Andrew Tate.
Who dies in the duel eventually, which is awesome.
Lady Margot Fenring, a Bene Gesserit, is sent to evaluate Fade Ratha as a prospective Kwisatz Haderach and to secure his genetic lineage by seducing him.
That's where it comes down to is genetic lineage. I see. Wait, repeat that. So the bad princess or the bad queen or whatever.
I don't know who this is, but Lady Margot Fenring. If I look at it, it'll probably
Daughter of the emperor, right? Oh wait, I lost. Your background's making it so I can't zoom. Okay, yeah, that's the daughter of the emperor, if I recall correctly, right?
Yeah, she comes in to seduce.
Oh, because of his power. I see. And then the witches who are working on both sides, they're the one who tested him of the power. That one lady who wears the thing over, she tested him and was like, yeah, he's got it. And then now she's going back to the other house like, yo, you need to seduce this. I think she's the one doing it.
I hear you. I hear your fan theory. It's all so complicated, but yeah. So it says here, Lady Margot Fenring, Bene Gesserit, is sent to evaluate Fade Ratha as a prospective Kwisatz Haderach and
The terms they use are wild.
secure his genetic lineage by seducing him. So that was like, what was that? That was her and who? Some other guy?
Well, her, yeah, okay.
Who? Oh! She came to seduce
His grandma.
the Andrew Tate looking guy, and he kind of knew what was going on.
Oh, is that what happened?
Andrew Tate guy was the one who was dealing with this girl, and she was like trying to literally seduce him, and they had like a sex scene, or she was trying to seduce him in some way. That was when we got to the futuristic planet and saw what he was all up to. That girl came to talk to him, and she like lured him into like some futuristic looking underground room, and then
I kind of forget. I don't know why I don't remember that scene very well.
Dude,
but
I just
it definitely happened.
I remember it now, but yeah, I forget what happened because he kind of looked like he knew, and he wasn't going to go along with it.
He wasn't feeling it. Interesting. I'd have to go back and see that.
Yeah, I know. There's so much to this movie. Okay, so who is this now? Jessica. I think that's Paul's mom. Jessica, is it? I think Lady Jessica. Jessica travels south to unite with Freeman fundamentalists who believe in the prophecy. Paul stays north, fearful that his visions of a holy war will occur if he goes south as a Messiah. That was his concern. A holy war will occur if he becomes the Messiah. So he knows that he's going to be inciting a war once he fulfills the prophecy. He does it anyways, and he's like, okay, well, I'm going to try to win this war kind of thing. Or I'm going to try to unite the people. Which is why I think his intentions are good, is he wants to unite the people. But
I think you're right. You're right. You know what? I don't know. I don't know, actually. I think we're gonna see a little bit of both, I think. But your ultimate
your side, so I don't know for sure either, but that was how I was watching.
In the end, I think he will unite the people.
Paul stays north, fearful that his visions of a holy war will occur if he goes south as a Messiah. He reunites with Gurney Halleck. Now, I think that's the Thanos character. He reunites with Gurney Halleck. Actually, that's what? Oh. Well, I'm seeing.
There's so much going on. It's crazy.
I'm seeing Patrick Stewart. So in the original Dune, this character was played by Patrick Stewart. You know who that is?
No.
He's like Professor X and
that guy?
Picard.
Wait, he's in the first one?
He's in no. He's in the original Dune.
Oh, the '70s one or whatever.
So when I pulled this up, it pulled up him, but it's actually Josh Brolin is the character now.
Got it. Got it.
So when he leads him to, so Gurney comes back. This is like after we already see the guy try to get seduced. Now we're back on whatever the desert planet. And he leads him to the hidden atomic stockpile of the House of Atreides.
Mm,
Fade Rotha attacks the Northern Freemen, including Siege Tabor, forcing
mm.
Paul and the survivors to journey south. Skockley. So I'm having like throat issues just from all these weird names.
Created names.
Skockley remains and Fade Rotha. Upon arrival, Paul drinks the water of life and falls into a coma. So that's when, and then I don't think he was supposed to drink the water if Zendaya had her way.
The water of life is the blood from the worm.
Yeah.
Mm.
This angers Chani, Zendaya, but she is compelled by Jessica to mix her tears with the liquid because which awakens him. So he was about to die, but they knew that they remember that part. He was about to die from the liquid because he was a male, but then her tears saved him.
I forget that little detail too. Shit.
So she was crying, and then
I thought he just did it all himself, kind of.
no,
I do remember,
No, I
but
remember
now
that.
I'm missing something
Yeah,
clearly.
like the mom or whatever, the witch or whoever, they got her tears, and that's what brought him back to life. And that was the prophecy, which is another part of the prophecy that was true. Is that like the tears of a Freeman or whatever would bring him back to life. Okay, so
So that's
upon
kind of the split. Is the prophecy? That's kind of one of the main questions. Is it a real prophecy or not?
yeah, and I mean if it's all
Of the
being
movie,
if it's
it could
all
be. Could.
being whatever architected by the witches, then I mean they could be doing all kinds of spells and weird stuff.
Fucking witches.
Okay, so Paul now has a clearer vision of the past, present, and future. He sees an adult Alia on a water-filled Arrakis and learns that Jessica is the Baron's daughter. So he sees an adult version of his sister in his mom's belly, who is Aaliyah. So that's who he's seeing when he was in his dream. He sees her, and she tells him that Jessica, her mom, and their mom is the Baron's daughter, and the Baron, I believe, is Christopher
Oh,
Walken.
so it was the bear. No, the Baron's not Christopher Walken, right?
Okay, not okay. So the Baron is the weird looking
Big boy. Yeah,
guy.
I
Okay,
think. Yeah,
actually,
Vladimir, right?
yeah, yeah. So that's the Baron, and then So I was wrong. So the Baron, he's their grandpa,
That's crazy, huh? I remember that part.
and he
Some
also
Star Wars shit.
singular path to victory among all possible futures. Which
But
is
let's see, is it the Baron or is it the Emperor who dies at the end of the second one?
let's see. I'm going to read this plot summary because it knows better than I do.
Okay.
I think it's both, but one of them might still be alive. Okay, so so he sees a singular path to victory among all possible futures, and that happened in Endgame also, where Doctor Strange went and saw all the different outcomes that could happen, and then he knew that there was only one way that they could save the Marvel universe, and it was by Iron Man killing himself.
I didn't follow it super closely, but it's
Yeah.
interesting.
The Southern Freemen leaders urge Paul to challenge Stilgar to a death duel for leadership.
I definitely remember that part.
Paul is going to challenge Stilgar. Is that the Andrew Tate?
No.
Who's Stilgar?
So remember, he's the main dude. He's like their top warrior. He was like their top. If I recall correctly, he was the Desert People's, the Freemen's like top warrior. And basically, they were like, "All right, if you beat our top warrior, you're our new leader.
Gotcha.
I think.
He refuses and galvanizes the fundamentalists by showing that he can read their innermost thoughts. Okay.
Oh, and he does that too. But I know they fight physically as well.
Right. Well, he shuts that down and refuses, and then he just says, I am God. I can read your thoughts. And he says, he declares himself the Lisan al Gaib. I am the Lisan al
Oh, the
Gaib.
Alagaib. That's right.
And sends a challenge to Shaddam, who arrives on Arrakis with Arulin, Mohayim, and his Sardaukar troopers. As Shaddam chastises the Harkonnens, the Freemen launch an offensive using atomics and sandworms to overpower the Sardaukar forces. Paul murders the Baron and captures Shaddam. And
Oh shit! Murders the Baron. That's who died.
Paul murders the Baron and captures Shaddam and his entourage. Shaddam is now, that is short for Emperor Shaddam. So that was
Christopher Walken.
Christopher Walken, I believe. Yeah.
Wait, repeat what they do. So the Baron is murdered, but then what happens with Shaddam?
He, at this point, he captures him and his entourage. So they kind of have control because there's so many sand people or whatever the non-offensive word is. The Hirakan, they're all they have enough people that they can what's the word?
Overthrow.
Captured him and his entourage. And Gurney intercepts and kills a fleeing Raban. I don't know who Raban is. But Gurney, I don't know who Gurney. Oh, Gurney is Thanos. He kills Raban.
Let me see.
Yeah. Raban is, oh, here we go.
Raban.
Yeah. Raban is the Andrew Tate guy. No.
Okay.
No. Raban is the Drax Dave Bautista character.
So I see, and he dies at the end. Oh yeah, because there's him too. Interesting.
He dies by Gurney's hand. Paul challenges Shaddam for the throne, and who's Shaddam again?
Shaddam is the emperor.
Yeah, okay.
Walken.
Okay.
And then the Baron's Vladimir or something.
Challenges Shaddam for the throne, and to Chani's dismay, demands Arulin's hand in marriage. I wonder what Arulin's. I guess he's her daughter. Arulin is like daughter. So he.
I was confusing Jessica with her.
So he demands her hand in marriage, and Shaddam admits his involvement in the destruction of the House of Atreides. Previously summoned by the Baron, the great houses arrive in orbit. Paul threatens to destroy the spice fields with atomics if they intervene. Shaddam chooses Fade Ratha as his champion. So
Fate isn't.
Fade is the Andrew Tate character, right?
Yeah. That sounds right now. Yes, I think. Yes. Yeah. Hold on.
And then
Yep.
Paul and Andrew Tate fight, and Paul kills him in the knife duel.
Yep.
When he killed Fade and he killed the Baron, and Irulin agrees to Paul's request for marriage on the condition that her father lives. Shaddam kneels and kisses Paul's signet ring. After the great houses reject Paul's ascendancy, he orders the Freemen to attack the orbiting fleet. As Stilgar leads the Freemen onto the captured Sardaukar ships, Jessica and Aliyah reflect on the beginning of Muad'Dib Holy War. I didn't know that. Like, that's the thing I'm learning, is that her daughter. She's like talking to her daughter. I didn't realize. Shani, feeling betrayed by Paul, refuses to bow to him and departs alone on a sandworm. And that is the last line of the plot summary.
That's how it ends. He departs on the sandworm.
Yeah, at the end, it's really setting it up that she's all on her own and she's against everything that's happening.
Got it.
And Chani feels betrayed. It says right here, she feels betrayed and she refused to bow to him, and he knows that. but he may or may not, try to win her back or whatever. But he's also trying to. Um, he is now going to be the leader of the Great House, and we'll see where it goes from there. But it's a very complicated movie. I'll say that much.
The names will get you on that. The
That's
names.
why that's why it's important that they all be played by Marvel actors, because I know they're all played by famous actors. It's star-studded cast.
hmm Yeah, fire cast for sure. I'm definitely excited to see where it goes. Yeah, no, yeah, I'm excited to see where it goes.
I have a little
The
more
books,
for anybody out there who watched the movie and didn't know what was going on. We might have been able to shed some light.
yeah. Sorry, we're not experts, but we know a little bit. We know the main kind of plots or the main stages of the story. We don't know the names and the characters very well, but I can kind of tell you how it goes a little bit.
I'll be less confused when I watch the first one, maybe, if I follow the first one.
The first, I kind of forget the first one a little bit. I just remember it's mainly, I think, the dad's empire, and they're just, landing there and trying to get some spice and shit or something.
They set up the houses and they set up the witches, and you kind of know who's who and why they're doing what they're doing. So, I mean, I'm sure it's helpful. But Nick, where do you think that Dune 3 is going to go?
Where do I think Dune 3 is gonna go? So Paul's in power.
Messiah. It's called Dune 3 Messiah, as if he really is a Messiah who's going to save everybody. Or maybe there's
I
Messiah.
wanted to.
Maybe there's another Messiah. Maybe she's the
Dude,
Messiah.
he may. I don't think he's gonna be the Messiah. I
Mhm.
don't know, dude. What that'd be a big twist.
Yeah.
I don't think he's gonna be the Messiah somehow.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
but maybe he. I don't know, dude.
that's
I
funny.
don't know.
I like that. I like where your head's at, because
What if like she's the Messiah or something, dude?
she
Zendaya.
and the prophecy was never real, and that's her what she believes, and I didn't know that.
It's possible. I could see a big twist coming somehow.
So for me, what was I gonna say? I just took it at face value, like, oh, he's the Messiah. Like, oh, he's the main character. He's omnipotent now, and he's gonna go and he's gonna bring everyone together. But she's against him, and I was like, why is she against him? But she might know it all. She might be the either she can redeem him or she can kill him or whatever. Where it all kind of she's really the Messiah.
She's pretty. Seems to know a lot of shit throughout that movie, so she's calling it pretty correct.
Well,
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
she also just seems like she just like I don't know. She just grew up in the sand. She doesn't seem that powerful to me.
But she's pretty beastly, dude. She
Yeah,
is pretty. She's like her train. She's kind of like flawless out there, though. Like
gotcha.
she never really loses. I don't think out
She's a
there
worthy
much.
competitor for
I
Paul.
think so. I think. I mean,
Well,
Paul is champ right now.
knowing how complicated these movies are, like there could be another Messiah who shows up.
Or like those ones where you think it's like this person's that god or the Messiah for the whole time, and you're like, okay, duh. And then they throw in this twist, and you find out it was actually the character you had no idea was going to be it, like in different movies.
I could see that. Do you think
But
that?
also, my head may be going crazy.
Do you think that Dune 3 will be a good movie, or do you think they could fumble it all?
No, I think the whole trilogy will be good.
So what the guy Dennis Villeneuve or whatever, the director writer said, I don't know if he's the director or the writer, but he said he's not going to make Dune 3, or he wasn't going to make Dune 2 unless it was better than Dune 1, and he's not going to make Dune 3 unless it's better than Dune 2.
Oh yeah, you said that to me. I think
So
I
I
like that.
I just saw on the internet was buzzing that Dune 2 was a good movie, so that's why I wanted to go see it. I gave it a chance. I think it's a good movie. I don't know who I recommend it to, but if you like sci-fi and twisted, crazy plot lines, it's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, have some good hype. Shout out Brandon in my hiking partner, Brandon Nicholas. He's the one who told me to go see Dune 2. So
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna go see it.
So other than that, we can wrap up here, and we're gonna be doing a lot of shows this week. I'm trying to get some people on here to talk about ego death this week.
Ego death? Shit. Shit. Some deep shit right there. I'd be down. Or let me know if you need me to chime in.
Because
Ego death.
We're on E, so E is for ego death. We're gonna do one about the egg theory with my cousin.
I watched it again the other night. I was thinking of you. I think I understood it a little differently again too, which is cool.
The egg theory is very interesting.
Yeah.
And we're gonna have Steven on here tomorrow talking about how he does eBay sales and his advice
Ooh.
on selling stuff.
Ooh, I'm gonna have to chime in on that.
Do you have any questions for Steven, Nick?
Probably. I mean, I can't I would just like a conversation more, I would definitely conversation with him would be cool. A lot of questions, definitely.
I like that. Try to see if you're free to jump on there and talk to us. I'll have to learn how to do multiple people on here.
That'd be cool. You could do that.
Let's see what's this. So that'll be fun. And then like I said, E, and then next week is Entertainment Roundup. We'll be talking all kinds of sci-fi celebrities. So Brandon K show in full effect. Thank you for watching, everybody. Thank you for joining me, Nick.
Absolutely.
I wanted to get your plug in earlier. Hold on, I have it here. I forgot. Where is it? Bubble. Oh, this one. There it is. Do you see that?
Oh, dude, thanks for that, man. Yeah, Happy Picks by Mia on Etsy.
Yeah. Try to come on tomorrow, and we'll put your plug in there in the show.
Yeah, I'm down to come on tomorrow. You want to do another one? Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Cool.
Other than that, thank you for watching, everybody.
Thanks, Brandon.
Thank you, Nick.
Have a great rest of your Sunday, brother.
This one.